Words About Books, Ben.
It's Words About Books, Nate. And we have to record a bunch of episodes really quickly because I'm going to be out of town for 2 weeks while my mom's getting a knee replacement. And while we have plenty of time to record, unfortunately, reading books takes a long time. Perhaps double unfortunately, I could have read ahead on many books, and instead, I just read all of the remaining Beware of Chicken books.
Oh, you read all of it?
I read all of it. I read everything.
Oh my
that's
god!
out.
I thought this would just be like a next volume.
No,
okay.
I read 4 Beware of Chicken.
Oh my
books.
god!
Yes, I read all 4.
Okay. Well, shit.
Yeah,
I'm
literally caught up.
This.
I ran out.
I didn't even have to read anything.
No. Well, the catch is going to be I'm. It's going to be tough for me to differentiate them. So this is a little bit of a cop-out episode, I'll admit, but we're doing a Beware of Chicken like belated part 2. Now that I'm caught up, and I'm going to try to talk about like whether the big concern I had with volume 1 was like, is it going to fall off? Does it get
fall
worse?
Off? Does it get worse? Is the chicken more chickeny?
Yes, actually, kind of. Yeah, the chicken is more chickeny.
Okay. So last time he defeated, I want to say, a rat, like a really evil rat.
Yes, Chow Ji.
And then
I think I remember the names now too.
The human whose name I don't remember, who got isekai'd into this world.
Yeah.
He made it with a woman, inform the men.
Give.
Yes, Captain.
I have made it with a woman. Inform the men.
Yep. He got married. That was volume 1.
Oh, he got married.
He got married. Yeah.
Okay.
Made an honest woman.
I didn't realize that he put a ring on it, but
I don't think they have rings in their culture, but he did take her into his home.
Wow.
So she works there now.
That sounds more capitalist than our society, Ben.
Well, in this, the animals also gain sentience and also work for free. His pig is his accountant.
What?
Yeah, Peppa or Peepa becomes his accountant. Though Chunky is just awesome.
Name. And Peppa. That show.
Yeah. We'll have to do that creepypasta this Halloween. Just for you. You watch all the pigs get brutally murdered.
Great.
Shai just goes, oh, I love that one.
Why do you know that one?
Everybody knows that one.
Why? Why does everybody know that one?
Because there's not that many creepypastas that are even kind of fun. Okay? It's a bloated genre, and most of them aren't the gold. Much like Cultivator Isekai novels, by the way.
Are there a lot of them?
Oh, yeah, this is huge.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really big in China, really big in Korea. I don't know if the Cultivator thing is as huge in Japan. I haven't seen as much of it from Japan. They all of them do the video game isekai thing. I guess cultivation is more of a, I don't know, it's more based on like Taoism and stuff, so it's probably more of the continent.
But definitely what I was thinking exactly.
Hey, it's got roots. It's got cultural roots. I mean, it's about as much as like, D&D has cultural roots in European mythology, but So yeah, we're going to do a nice light episode. I'm going to take you through the rest of Beware of Chicken. There's going to be spoilers for everything that is in a novel. I did not go and read the chapters one at a time.
How dare you?
Well, so here's what I understand, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Beware of Chicken community came out for the last one and corrected me on a few things. And everybody was really cool about it, and I appreciate that. So if you need to correct me again, feel free to do so. But
and and really make him feel bad. Like,
everybody
wow,
was
you
really
didn't
polite.
understand that part? Okay, let me explain it to you in simple terms so that you can understand it.
No, the meanest thing I could say it's just that energy of like people who never really get a chance to introduce this to someone new, talking to someone new. They just have like a lot of energy around it, and I like it because I've been that guy. I've been that guy with Lord of the Rings so many goddamn times.
And with Dune.
And with Dune. Yeah. Now the reason I didn't read the chapters is I was listening to these as audiobooks. Travis Baldry. I hear all these characters as Travis Baldry now. So that's fun. He actually has a pretty good range. I'll give him that. Travis Baldry is a very solid audiobook narrator. I see why he's so sought after.
Yeah, if only we could get him for extra sensual perception, we would have it made.
No, we got a better one.
I haven't listened to it yet.
You then don't just trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. No, he's really good. But what I understand is CasualFarmer, the guy who writes the chapters, he puts out. I think somebody was telling me he puts out like 3 chapters a week.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, which is insane. That's too. It's
I can
way too
maybe
many.
I can maybe get a chapter a month if you're lucky and I don't have anything else going on.
If it was my full-time job, maybe a chapter a week, but I would fall into the trap that he does fall into, I think. That you see in manga a lot. There's the A plot requires a little bit of thought and planning, but I got a due date, so
Naruto's
what?
going to the field of rice paddies this
Yeah.
week. I'll see you in a few months while I'm getting everything else done.
What are Krillin and Gohan doing? Well, Goku travels to planet Namek. Getting their ass kicked is the answer, and that's kind of what happens here too. But the thing with the new chapters is I think he puts them out fairly quick, right? And then for the novels, I think they get an extra round of editing.
Mm.
And I was kind of thinking, like, I don't know what the quality is at 3 chapters a week. I don't know how long these chapters are either.
As someone who wrote a book
But
that
as
wasn't
someone,
good.
yeah, as someone who wrote
10 chapters in like 2
Well, I'll
years.
tell you now, the chapters are definitely not like the chapters we wrote. They're not. They're much shorter than that.
God
We're
damn,
probably
what was I doing? I feel like I should have I could have just cut it up into thirds.
well, we were writing in a different era. Web novels were not a thing. Dare I
Yeah.
say we were on the cutting edge?
Yeah. There you go. We were
Don't
just
laugh at
too
me.
far ahead.
This is a podcast, and the fucking audience is already laughing at me.
We were just too far ahead of the curve, Ben.
That was in many ways the problem of our writing careers. We were just ahead of our times, and we're dead now. So there's
we
no
were
making
never
that
able
up.
to.
Yeah, we
We
were
were
never
never
able
able
to.
to do another one.
Yeah, but no, just based on my experience as the writer, I kind of would prefer to just read the final versions because I can imagine there's some cleanup that goes on.
Yeah, he removed all those references to Yamcha.
Well, he removes the chapters from the website too. He removes them from Royal Road when the books come out, which is a way to encourage you to buy the books, but also probably a way to limit the distribution of the unedited chapters, though it's the internet. You could probably go in the Wayback Machine and pull those chapters out. But yeah, so I haven't read anything that has been produced past the official volume 4. So let's take a look. Let's see what happens in each volume and see where we are, huh?
Yeah. All right. So we beat up a rat, and we put our wife to work.
We put our wife
What
to
what
work.
now? And we realize that some of the animals are starting to gain sentience, so we can't eat them unless we're sure that they won't get pissed off about being eaten.
Yeah, before we slaughter any animals, we have to give them the world's most stressful college entrance exam. Most of them, though, do kind of remain, they kind of remain just animals. I think by the end of volume one, there is the chicken bidee. The animals are usually referred to by their Chinese sounding names, but they're all joke names in English. But the chicken bidee, the rat uh, Rizu, uh, the lady pig Peepaw, the awesome pig Chunky. I'm trying to remember if we got anybody else at that point. Yes, we also have a cat, Tigu, who is Tigger.
Yeah. No, I got it.
Okay, I didn't know if you were keeping up. Trying to think, do we have anybody else? There is a carp who he employs as a dishwasher.
What?
Yeah, he gets a carp to clean the plates. Yeah, because carp are like bottom feeders. So he just throws the plates in with the carp, and the carp like scrubs the bits off. But the carp also gains sentience. His name is Washi, which is
Yeah.
in English that's washy.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were keeping up.
I figured.
Okay, I didn't know. Sometimes you don't pay
I'm a
attention.
quarter Japanese, sir.
Well, this is Chinese, so you hate it.
What's the difference from the perspective of the rest of me, which is just
What's
super
the
white?
difference from the rest of me that doesn't understand any of it?
Yeah, exactly.
So we got Washi. I'm trying to remember.
I
There's
use my
also
ignorance to my advantage, Ben.
there's also, if you remember last time, I mentioned a pretty gal who was buxom.
No, I don't remember that. Did he
Oh
not hook
well,
up with her? Is that?
no, he did not because he was in a committed relationship at the time, and now he's married, so he's
I'm
not doing
sure
it.
things are a little more lax back in
No, he's
those
not a
days.
cheater. He's not a cheater.
It's not cheating if
I
there's
think they're
second
more
wife.
lax if you're the emperor, but I think everybody else was pretty much locked in.
I don't know for sure, but I'm going to talk from authority as if I do.
Yeah, so the girl who hangs out there, she's a martial artist from the what is her sect? Something with like she's the blade of grass. It's some grass based sect. They
The
summon
village hidden in the leaves.
kind of, yeah, except they're not hidden and they're kind of ostentatious and they kind of lord it over people. But she's one of the good ones. She came to the farm looking for a bandit she was supposed to kill. This bandit had killed all her men. She was badly injured. The farmer treats her wounds and um, they rehabilitate her, and she realizes like this farm is something special, and also that the bandit she was looking for has already been killed because he walked onto the farm and the chicken got him.
Hmm. Well, you should have read the sign. Idiot. That's on
Yeah.
you. You can't sue me.
So now her name is Sai Sholon. So in a lot of like manga and stuff, this is a minor thing, but in a lot of manga they translate the family names. So in English we say our first name first. That's why we call it our first name, and then our family name second. Flip that and reverse it for most Asian cultures, including Chinese. So when I say Sai Sholon, Sholon is her first name, Sai is her last name. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, she's gonna. So
Go on.
in book two, she wants to like hang out and train there.
The buxom lady
Yeah, she wants to hang
who
out
was
and train
chasing a
with this.
bandit who
Yeah,
got by a chicken.
because this dude has apparently been raising all these spirit beasts. So from her perspective, she's of this world. He is a hidden master,
Ah,
and he is insanely strong, possibly the strongest
crouching
guy.
chicken, hidden master. Got it.
Got it.
That's the movie.
That's the movie. Bang, you got it.
Yeah.
So she wants to train with him because he's the strongest guy in the province. He's obviously got something going.
Yeah, he's managed to turn daily chores into automated tasks as if he were from the future.
Well, they're only automated in the sense that he's employing
That sounds
sentient
pretty automated to
animals
me.
to do
What does he
it.
pay them in? Like feed, right?
I don't know if they get money.
There you go.
I think he asks them if they want money.
Do you want some Bitcoin?
Well, they're all allowed to like do whatever they want. He has a lot of meetings with them. Like he does have staff meetings with his animals.
This is a little strange.
Where
This
they
is a
make
very specific
decisions.
fantasy.
This is a very specific fantasy. It's a fantasy of like good management.
Well, no can do.
There's also a thing going on I mentioned last time when you said like what happened to the guy whose body he took over. So they're doing something interesting, and I haven't seen a ton of other isekai do this. Normally,
Ooh, you're bringing down the wrath of the isekai sensei.
only if you can show me another isekai where they do this.
Okay, what is it?
So
You start a harem?
no, that never happens. He's very loyal to his wife.
That's actually refreshing for
Yeah,
isekai.
I would not have read all 4
Yeah,
books if he was a piece of shit.
That's actually pretty solid for.
It's not the only one that does that, but I mean, the ones I've actually sat down and read are usually written by women, so they're a different kind. It's usually the woman being reincarnated. Some of them are harem based though, and I don't really like those either. I don't like reverse harems either, which I feel like we should have a better name for.
That's a thing?
Yeah, reverse harems 100% a thing.
I just assumed that would be called a harem, but with
No, it's a reverse harem.
dudes. Okay. Sausage harem.
Sausage harem. A harem.
Sarem. Hair him. There you
Yeah,
go.
a hair him. That's what you should call it. You got hair hers and hair hims. But no.
Harem, I hardly know him.
No, he's very loyal to his wife. His wife is also like kind of raunchy. So
Wow.
yeah, she's a
And he is not? Is that
he's a little more
like
reserved.
she's coming on to him and he's like, I need to go feed the pig.
Oh no, not at all. No, he's into
Oh.
it. He's into it. But like, she definitely makes she's the aggressor more often.
Aggressor. I think the initiator is. You know what? No, aggressor. We're gonna.
As
I don't know
close
their
as-
relationship.
So I'll tell you this: as close as this gets to like pervy stuff, there's like a little bit of fan service in that there's a joke where when he's supposed to be doing his accounting before he just lets the pig take it over, he doodles a lot, and he's obviously like a nerdy anime fan from our world. You derailed me from the original point I was trying to make, but I'm just going to go down this road while I'm on it.
Yeah.
So he doodles, and he doodles things like bunny girl outfits, and
Yeah.
he has a particular series of like costumes he would like to see his wife in, and one of them,
Who doesn't?
one of them is the bunny girl
Three
thing.
Musketeers outfit all the way.
One of them is he is Canadian, so there's a lumberjack number.
Of course.
I'm trying to remember.
I'm
what
a
the other ones are.
lumberjack and I'm okay.
Obviously, there's a Japanese schoolgirl thing, the Sailor Fuku.
Well, okay.
Yes.
Don't steal my culture like that, man.
Don't steal my culture. You have the lumberjack thing. That's yours. Okay.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
not allowed.
exactly.
I don't want to see her in a cowboy hat. I don't want to see her in a sailor fuku. Okay.
Goddamn right.
No. So she finds those drawings and she makes those outfits, and they have fun with that. There's along those lines, there's a village magistrate who quickly became perhaps my favorite character.
Oh, I was expecting him to be an asshole.
Yeah,
That's
that's the thing. You're
shocking.
supposed to. You're supposed to expect him to be an asshole, but it turns out that this guy is like the most amazing village magistrate. He's just an incredible bureaucrat. He's the Hermes Conrad of the Azure
He gets
Hills.
the entire city running on the back of one Australian man.
Yeah. And he's just really like, his thing is he loves hearing his people talk him up. So he does everything perfect. Like, he has all these elaborate plans to earn their praise. But also, and he's married too, and he's also super loyal to his wife. And he also has weird fetishy shit.
Okay.
Like, so the wife of the magistrate and the farmer's wife become friends, and she shares this costume idea, and the wife puts it on for the magistrate, and he's like super into it, and then he's thinking to himself like, I wonder how I'd look in fishnets. And I was like, good for you, buddy.
Who, the magistrate?
Yeah. He wants to do a
Well,
little Rocky Horror thing.
How does he look in fishnets?
Probably amazing. He keeps pretty fit. We don't get to see that. I will say
Oh.
this: all the sexy stuff fade to black.
That's probably a good
Yeah,
thing.
we don't get. It's just for like comedy and PG-13. Very simple there. But no, the thing that this does that other isekai I haven't seen do is the Canadian man died in our world. And
Oh, did he actually die?
yeah, so he died. He was hit by a
Wow.
car or something, as they all are. That's truck sand. That's a thing in the isekai community. They're all hit by the same truck. It's a trope. If you Google
right.
Truckson, you'll see it.
It's the same truck every time?
It's the same truck every time. Google truck sand right now.
Huh.
See, there's a whole world of tropes you know nothing about.
I'm okay with this.
So he got truck sand, and then in this world, Jinzhou got kicked in half, basically. So they both died, I guess, at the same time, cosmically speaking.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. And so he appears to take over the body, but that's not quite what happened. The two of them, kind of like as shattered beings, fused together.
Oh, so he's two people together into one new being.
Yeah, and when he sleeps, and it's I don't know if he remembers these conversations in his waking life, but he does talk to the guy.
Oh.
Like, they talk.
Why didn't that guy get to go into his body? A reverse isekai.
That is a thing.
Oh my god, of course it is, Ben.
Sorry.
We get to describe the modern day world in great detail from the perspective of a guy that doesn't understand a modern society.
Yep. We have those. We also have people who are isekai'd multiple times. So they get isekai'd into a world, die in that world, and then get reset back to the beginning, or isekai'd into a third world. I call that a resekai. It hasn't caught on.
Why is that a resekai?
Because they keep re-isekaiing.
Is it so? It's like Groundhog Day in the sense that you relive these lives, but it's different life every time.
Well, you retain the memories of the previous.
Ben,
lives.
what if this reality is an isekai, Ben?
I mean,
when we die, we're gonna be in a different world.
Think about it.
Podcast here.
Think about it this way, man. If reincarnation is a thing, it is. You're living what happens after you die right now. And that's an
Please.
encouraging thought.
Yeah, can you send my soul to a different part of the universe, or perhaps another universe, please? Please and thank you.
Well, that'll all depend on your karma. How many nice things have you said about books lately?
I'm pretty sure you can farm karma by just offering water to the same guy outside of Megaton. So that offsets any of the murders that I do.
I thought you were going to talk about a Reddit post where you, am I the asshole for divorcing my husband who kicked me off a cliff?
But I
And
mean,
other totally real stories like
in
that.
fairness, in fairness, you did call your husband's sister fat for no reason. So everyone sucks here.
The single greatest use of ChatGPT is writing "Am I the asshole?" stories.
That's a great idea.
The second greatest use of AI is having it read the AI written stories over AI generated footage of Minecraft on TikTok.
What? Get the fuck out
There's
of
a
here.
whole world of tropes you know nothing about.
Of those videos. Get out.
Endless content.
The content singularity, Ben.
But yeah,
In just a few short years, we're not even going to record this. We're just going to feed an AI.
you're not even
what we
going to
want to
need,
say.
we're not going to need to make a podcast, and the listeners aren't going to need to listen to it. We'll just have a bot make the podcast, and then their bots can listen to it. And we can all just stare at a wall until death takes us, and then we'll get reincarnated to do it all over again.
Being reincarnated as the wall.
Well, that's a Zen thing. You know, when you look at the wall looks at you. Where do you begin and the wall ends, you know? Kind of like Jinzhou and the mysterious Canadian who took over his body. They're sort of becoming one being. And they do dispel the idea that the two of them are in conflict. They tease that for a little bit. You think that might happen?
And then they kiss and make up. That's what
Kinda,
they do.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
They're fusing together, so it's...
Yeah. It's like Arthas and the Lich King, Ben.
Yeah, I guess. They were
Yeah.
kind of friends, frenemies, friends with benefits.
That's how that works.
And yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing that's going on is there is an earth spirit, Tianlan. She is the force that is... I don't know if we still haven't quite learned why some of the animals become sentient, but she is the source of his cultivation. She is the source of his power. He is bonding with the spirit of the land, and the power that is hers is usable by him as well. That's a couple books on, but you could kind of guess that's happening pretty early on. I figured that out pretty quick. As soon as I knew there was an earth spirit, I knew that was...
Oh, yeah. No, you mentioned this last time.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out. So yeah, that was, that was made sense. So
yeah, can the land quit making my animals sentient? I want to eat some bacon, and I haven't been able to do that for decades now.
I don't think he can eat bacon anymore because Chunky won't eat any of the animals because he's friends with everybody. So Chunky got pretty fucked up in the battle with the evil rat, and his consciousness like fades in and out. Chunky is like way more deeply connected to the earth spirit than anyone else, and certainly more aware of it. And I think that's because he leans or needed to lean so heavily on her power to survive those injuries. So his spark, his intelligence is kind of different. He's to the others, he seems to be slower, but he's also like full of wisdom. Like, people really underestimate him because he doesn't think very quick, but when he speaks, it's usually like the most profound shit anyone's ever said. He'll say like 4 words and it'll be like, well, God damn, you just kind of saw right through me, my enemy, and everyone else, and now we're all friends. And then his wife, Peppa, does the taxes.
Yeah. I wouldn't let Peppa do my... Wait, taxes?
Oh, this is ancient China. You better believe there's taxes.
Yeah, but there's also not going to be a W-2.
No, but there is going to be a percentage of your grain.
Well, sucks to suck. I didn't make any grain.
He does.
Oh.
He makes, well, so I'm considering rice a grain.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But also, he does have wheat. I don't know if he has barley. I don't think he has barley yet. One of the things I did low-key enjoy was the Harvest Moon, like Stardew Valley of it all. Like, I do kind of enjoy learning about him getting different crops and such. For whatever reason, that's a kind of cozy I can get behind.
Well, if you ever want to work on a farm, Ben, you just say the word.
How much can you pay?
I can pay you in grain and lodging.
Yeah, you're gonna need a sentient animal for that. I guess I am a sentient animal, but
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay, touche. But let's skip around a little bit.
Yeah, who's the next villain, Ben?
There's these 2 brothers. They're friends, like old childhood friends of his wife. And one of them looks like a monkey, and one of them looks like a fox. There's
Who is
2.
this?
Do you want me to repeat that word for word?
Yes.
Or are you paying attention? Okay.
Yes, I do. You're like, there's one that looks like a monkey and one that is a wife, and and you remove 10 seconds of time, and that removes
Yeah.
the cause of the action, but there's still an effect.
Yeah.
And he can move around during that time, but no one else can, and it reverses the cause and prevents it from happening while the effect still happens.
Yeah. So, okay. There are these 2 brothers that hang out at the farm.
Okay.
They are friends with his wife. They're from her village. They're old childhood friends.
Okay.
One of them looks like a monkey.
Got it.
One of them looks like a fox.
All right.
Okay.
And they're the bad guys.
No, they're fine.
Well, I asked about bad guys, and he started talking about them.
Yeah, because I need to set the stage.
Well, you're
Because the bad
shit
guy
in the bed,
is
Ben.
capitalism.
What?
No, I'm kidding. It's not.
No.
Capitalism.
Capitalism is what is going to bring us out of this imperial hellhole.
He actually engages in a ton of capitalism. Dude
You
is fucking loaded by the time this is over.
Right.
The thing I was going for when I told you, so it's not just the animals that are getting enhanced here. His wife and these 2 brothers, they also become cultivators.
Wow.
They also develop very strong
Copycats.
chi.
Like on purpose?
No.
Wow.
It just sort of happens. They hang out there. They eat all this food. It's kind of unclear. I'm assuming they also bond with the Earth Spirit.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think that's what's
Everyone's
happening.
doing it. I guess
Yeah.
let's just everyone just bond with the Earth Spirit now.
Yeah. So there's 2 kind of more than 2. There's a lot of storylines. There's a lot of characters, as you're probably gathering.
Yes.
There's
Where is Yamcha and Lunch? Or Launch? I don't remember what her name is.
Yamcha is probably the monkey guy.
Oh. That's
And
unfortunate.
there is no launch because there is no Master Roshi because he's in prison.
Because he's in prison. That would be a good place for him.
Probably the main storyline of book 2, I would say, is Badi decides he needs to go on a quest.
Okay.
So there's this formation, which is The formations are kind of weird.
The Porkins formation.
No, that's what Chunky is looking for. No, so
People
formations,
listening to this episode, this is their second episode on Words About Books, wondering what the fuck we're talking about.
So no, but he decides he needs to go on a quest. So there's this formation he wants to investigate. So all these villages in this area, they have these solstice festivals. And at these solstice festivals, they do these dances. And these dances are like elaborate rituals that seem to have some connection to the land itself. Now, since we all get our power from the land, that's interesting, right?
So we need to expand the land.
Right now, Badi is just trying to figure out, where do these rituals come from? Why do we do them? As he talks to people, which he can't really do yet. Only
Why?
because he can only speak with his chi. The animals don't, like, they're still animals. They can't use their mouths to make words. But they can kind of communicate psychically, but people aren't, you got to be kind of attuned to them. Not everybody's picking up on it yet.
Okay, but also, but can he talk to? He can talk to the villagers and stuff, though.
He right now he's talking through Rizu, the rat. She has figured out how to speak to people.
I do not remember there being a good rat. In
There's
fact,
a
there
good
are no
rat.
good rats. They're
She
all
helped
bad.
him. She helped him defeat the bad rat.
Okay. Well,
So he's still figuring
no,
that
thank
out.
you.
But he's gonna go and he's gonna go on an adventure and he's gonna try to figure out the mystery of these rituals. And so that's gonna take up a lot of the book. And it's a little side questy. I'm gonna admit. It comes back around, but it maybe goes on a little too long. While he's doing that, Sholon, she has come back to the farm to train. After the bandit was killed, she had to return to, I think, the Verdant Blade sect is what they're called. She returned to her sect to report that she had killed the bandit, and
But she didn't.
no, but they told her, she asked them what she could do for them in exchange for killing that bandit, and Jin said, I want you to take all the credit. I don't exist.
Oh, okay. So she's not a filthy liar.
No.
She's
And
a
in
regular
fact,
liar.
the guilt eats at her. Every time somebody brags that she like, they're like, oh man, I'm buying you around, blah blah blah. She just thinks of all her dead comrades and how she failed them. And how she's being rewarded for the things she didn't do, for failing to avenge them as well. And so she comes back to the farm and she's kind of like PTSD a little bit. And while she's there, the cat, Tigu, is also sort of struggling with nobody likes her because she's a jerk.
Well, I mean that's a cat.
Yeah, she's very cat-like. So
Yeah.
They
I found a hole in my carpet where my cat decided it was just gonna claw right through the corner. So yeah, he's gonna be an outdoor cat or a dumpster cat from now on. I'm just gonna put him in there, and that's gonna be the end of him.
But yeah, so they kind of bond because the cat wants to fight. The cat likes fighting. It's also really the only predator animal on the farm, so it has that natural instinct to fight things.
Especially with that rat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they actually don't get along.
Yeah.
But the rat is like a medicine expert.
Yeah, just like that other rat was, right?
Yeah,
Making those great pills that definitely
she doesn't make the pills, but she does poison the cat.
Wow.
The cat started it.
I never thought I would have to side with a cat.
But she
Or with Big Pharma.
Rizu becomes the student of his wife. Jin's wife is a healer. I think I mentioned that in the first episode.
And no one finds it strange that a rat is
Tons of people find it strange.
okay.
But there is one thing they have going for them. In this world, spirit beasts exist. These animals with chi that are intelligent, usually they're not friendly. That's probably the strangest thing about these animals. But people kind of chalk that up to, oh, Jin must just be that strong that spirit beasts study under him, when in actuality he's just falling ass backwards into success over and over again.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
that's
isekai
that's
dream, to be honest.
yeah, that's living. That's my dream too.
Yeah. So Badi goes on a long quest to find out what's going on with these formations. In the course of that quest, he teams up with a sentient rabbit and a sentient snake. You might gather we're kind of completing the zodiac here. And
I don't see no dog
not
or
yet.
ox.
They're okay. They do get. I'll spoil this. They do get an ox.
Okay,
They do get an ox, and
where's the
one of
tiger? I guess the
that's the
cat has
cat.
to play the
The
role of the
cat's the
tiger.
tiger. Yeah,
Huh.
and
Let's see. But wouldn't the snake eat the rabbit? I've seen them do
no,
that.
the
Why
snake
not?
trains the rabbit. There's a whole story there.
What?
Lot of side quests.
What?
Lot of side quests and
What?
backstories.
I'm still waiting for the time when Nappa comes in and he starts wrecking them left and right.
So there's not a lot of wrecking in volume 2. Volume
Yeah,
2
I mean, I
ends.
figure this is after we all learn that he's in fact an alien from our world.
Yeah, volume 2 is kind of the like, we're going to Namek filler episodes. we
That's
run into
unfortunate that it's an entire volume.
a lot of people say that. That's what I've seen. A lot of people have said that it's unfortunate that it's an entire volume. I will admit it is very side questy. Um, I think he's getting. There's a challenge here because he obviously knows Chinese cultural myths and tropes. He knows this cultivation genre incredibly well. Everything is a reference to something. And I'll be honest with you, I probably get about 60% of it. This isn't my area of expertise. There's a vast gulf of difference between China and Japan. But I like seeing that. They do the whole thing like the carp has a side quest where he goes down to a cave with a turtle and a peach tree, and he's got to swim up the waterfall to become a dragon. I don't know how familiar you are with that myth, but that's a whole thing.
Oh, is that how they're going to get the dragon for the Zodiac?
Yeah,
Or
basic. Yeah, the carp is the dragon.
oh,
Dragons and so you okay. Let's make this simple. You know Magic Carp from Pokemon.
oh, so
Yeah,
that's why it evolves
that's
into
why it evolves into a
Gyarados.
dragon. There is a myth.
Except Gyarados was flying, Ben. They decided not
Aha.
to make.
Yeah, he's a pseudo dragon. So the carp becomes the dragon. There's a myth in a Chinese myth about a carp swimming up a waterfall. The struggle of that makes it into a dragon. In Chinese mythology, dragons are water creatures, not fire creatures.
And
Hence,
that's why they weren't prepared when the dragons attacked.
who wasn't prepared
Ancient China.
when the dragons attacked ancient China? They weren't prepared because they thought they would be
Because
fire.
they were preparing for a water fight, but it was in fact a firefight, Ben.
Ah, I have no idea. Is this a World War II thing you're talking about again?
No, how dare you? But also, is ancient China around today? Exactly, Ben. Go on.
Some of it is. So, um, yeah. So the dragon turns, or the fish turns into a dragon. Now, apparently, all spirit beasts can, in theory,
So they're
take
gonna get a
on.
horse?
I guess yeah, they would have to get a horse, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I was born the year of the horse.
I was born in the year of the dragon.
Wow, look at you.
Year of the
You just
dragon. I don't know
fucking
what
fancy.
month is my element. I think I'm water. Year of the dragon, and
This is the year of the snake. Oh, last year is the year of the dragon. Did you feel all mighty and powerful, Ben? Get
I
that
felt
extra chi boost?
qualified to be an emperor.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I would have
regardless,
voted for you.
every spirit beast can take on a human form if they want to. Now, there's a trick to it. It requires some ill-defined trigger and power, but the cat would really like to become a person. The cat would really
Wow.
like to take human form.
Well, too bad. And also, why?
Because
I get the
she
opposable thumbs, but like, you're a cat. You don't have to work. You can just lay in the sun, roll over, and then when you're done taking your nap, you wake up, you eat, you go push some things off a table somewhere, and then you just go find a nice cozy spot to go back to sleep.
she wants to fight. She's very into the martial arts society. She's very much the brawler of the batch. Badi is still the best, like strongest fighter, but he's sort of, since his bout with the rats and the pills, he's sort of reflected on like power for power's sake, and he's more following the path of a sage.
Coward. That's what that is. You need to have power.
So volume 2, I think, ends with him. It ends with Badi finding that something in the land is broken, that these rituals they're doing are wrong, that they're all part of a giant formation, and in this case, formation is like Chinese alchemy. So think
What
like
was the quote? With great power comes great authority, but absolute power rocks absolutely.
yeah, probably that sounds like something Benjamin Franklin would say.
That sounds
Um,
about right.
and Bidi, he finds this formation's wrong. The elements are all shifted. Like they're all shifted one place. Like the people doing the fire ritual are in the wood area, and the people doing like the wood ritual are in the water area. And it's all just like off by one. And I could be getting the elements wrong. I don't know a ton about Chinese alchemy and stuff. But he finds a crystal, and this crystal contains stored information about why this all is the way it is. And he's going to take that back to his master, and he's going to bring the rat and the snake with him. The snake also knows how to make glass. I'm kind of speeding through a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Why not? Can we get some metal in here and forge that into,
we
or
do
like
not
perhaps build a
have a
big
blacksmith
castle?
yet, but
Well, we still need an ox and
at some point
a
he gets an
horse.
ox. I'm going to throw
Do
this
we have a
out there.
goat? Do we have a goat?
We don't have a goat. Is the goat part of the Chinese zodiac?
Is it? Hold
I don't
on.
think so.
There's a sheep or something.
Oh, maybe.
Hold on.
We do have sheep. No, we don't have sheep.
The sheep. Okay, it's a sheep, a ram, or a goat. It could
Okay.
be any of those things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Jackie Chan astral projection power.
That's right. I wasn't thinking about the Adventures of Jackie Chan. Uh,
I'm glad you get the reference.
oh god, that was a solid fucking cartoon, man.
It was. It
Yeah, no, that
was.
was awesome. Yeah, so there, I'm yada yadaing a lot. At some point, Badi takes on a human student. He does eventually learn how to talk to people. They get an ox. The ox becomes sentient. The bandit's blade, to make a funny gift for the farmer, Sholon had them turn the bandit's blade into a plow, and the blade is like possessed by a sword spirit, and it just wants to cut. But now that it's a plow, it's actually perfectly satisfied with like tilling fields.
What?
And this ox
What?
becomes the plow wielder.
What?
Look, there's a story behind freaking everything. This dude has to write 3 chapters a week. We got to rotate,
We
we
need
got to
to. Yeah.
we got to keep it all going.
So what we need to, what you're saying is what we need to do is we need to write. We each need to write our own story, and we just alternate every other chapter. But
Every
we,
other day, yeah.
yeah, there you
So
go.
we could do 3 a week. His output is insane. This is not sustainable. It is blowing. I had fun with a lot of these things, but yeah, it just trying to recount it, like you can easily see, like, oh yeah, this did get kind of out of hand.
We need to. We needed all of that, you know.
Yada yada. Cat turns into a girl.
Okay. Is she also busty or?
No, she's kind of
Okay,
muscly,
that's good.
wiry.
Okay, that I can live with that.
Yeah, and they do have a conversation. It's another.
How does she turn into a? Hold on. I feel like that's kind of important.
She finds out that the fish can turn into a dragon because the fish goes through the waterfall thing.
So does she swim up the waterfall?
No, but she figures that there's some amount of energy and like a trial needed, and she winds up asking the Earth Spirit for help with it. And the Earth Spirit comes to her and helps her do the transformation. She puts her through this trial and gives her the energy required and transforms her into a person.
Okay.
Yeah, blend of magic and martial arts. That's all of these like Age of Heroes Chinese stories. So she becomes a person. Now there's another interesting thing the isekai thing does, because she looks like an adult, but she of course has been alive for a year. So they do have to sit down and have a talk with her, Jin and his wife.
The birds and the bees, please tell me.
Not the birds and the bees,
thank God.
but they're like, this is how you got to act. Like this is, you got to make, you got to put a shirt on. You got to do all this stuff. Like you can't be totally crazy. They teach her like etiquette and stuff. And
also you don't get to nap 16 hours a day. You got to work.
So Jin,
yeah, you didn't think this one through, did ya?
Jin gives all the animals the option of like last names and stuff. He's like, look, you guys, if you want to be part of like my family, like I feel kind of parental towards all of you and responsible for your creation in a way that I was admittedly not prepared for.
Not at all prepared for.
But like, if anyone wants to take my name, you can, or you could take a different name. The rat winds up taking his wife's last name, so she becomes Hong Rizu.
Wait, his wife didn't take his
name?
No,
I don't think that's a thing in a lot of Asia. I don't know if they.
But how do you signify like property ownership?
Okay. Yeah. She works for you. It's just
there you go. There you go.
Or it depends. You give her all your money and you work for her. It's up to you. But the cat wants to take his name, so she becomes Zhotigu. And he treats her very much like a daughter. And later on, she will go out into the world, and of course, some guy winds up wanting to court her, and realizing that her dad is actually like the most powerful being in the province. um, Jen has a talk with the guy. It's like, I'm not going to tell you she's a cat because I am not emotionally prepared to have that conversation with you. But like, he does sit him down and he's like, she's not ready for that yet. um, just, just, she's 2 years old.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's complicated. She's emotionally mature. She's an adult for a cat, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how you avoid that.
It's a 6,000-year-old dragon.
Look, she doesn't date anybody yet. I'm sure that's gonna come eventually because she does eventually have relationships with other people as a person, and they don't know that she's a cat.
Yeah.
So
she ever transform back into a cat? Like she go back and forth?
She does.
Okay.
But she doesn't
All
like
right.
to.
That's all right.
She hates being a cat. She has a lot of trauma caught up in that because when she becomes a person, she chills out a lot and everybody likes her more. And she also doesn't struggle with like predatory instincts. Like she actually has an easier time being around the rat. She actually has a pretty interesting character arc. And I think she takes up a huge amount of space in volume 3. Volume 3 is the tournament arc.
Oh god.
And it is referred to meta as the tournament arc.
Okay.
There's a whole side quest where Jin and Bidi go to try to figure out what's on that crystal Bidi found. The tournament's actually pretty cool. Unfortunately, everywhere we go, just dozens of new characters are introduced. And they all get their own stories. I think the one criticism you will see of this series is it's just inflating like the universe 5 seconds after the Big Bang. It's stars are forming, there's galaxies clustering here. Inflate. Whoa, dude, I don't know how we're going to navigate all of this. I don't know. I'll tell you one problem I saw right off the bat is I think volume 1 is like 300 pages. Volume 2 is around 400 pages. Volume 3 like 450. Volume 4 is 700 pages. He's got to rein it in, or he's got to find a different way to to combine these chapters into volumes because you're not going to be able to just take. Oh, I've got 80 chapters. Let's wrap it up into a volume. Because that's the biggest thing. People are like, "Is it?" I waited for this book, and not enough is happening to really justify a book. It probably justifies a week-to-week serial, but I was looking for a little more out of like 700 pages. I was okay with it though, but it's also partly because he's hitting my exact like favorite things checklist. I like martial arts. I like magic. I like dragons. I like alchemy. So the tournament arc goes nuts. There's an evil guy.
Okay.
Evil guy. You wanted a bad guy. Here's a bad guy. Do you remember in the first volume, I think I talked about this. He beats up another cultivator who attempted to sexually harass a woman.
No, I don't remember that.
There is a guy who comes up to one of his future wife's friends and is like, "Oh, you're hot. I'll give you the honor of warming my bed tonight." And she's like, "No, I'm engaged." And he's like, "Not when I'm here." And Jin beats the ever-loving shit out of him. And that guy is back. He went to jail for a little while. He got punished by his sect, but he's out now. And he's at this tournament to scout for talent because he's from a very powerful foreign sect and this province sucks. So they're like, oh, maybe we could take like their best guy and put him in the minor leagues or something for us. He could be on our farm team.
Our farm team.
Yeah.
You've got the Vegas Golden Knights, and then you've got the Henderson Silver Knights.
You got the Hershey Bears.
Hershey Bears.
That's a thing. That's our minor league hockey team. I forget I think the Bears are a farm team for the Flyers. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's what he's there to do. And tournament goes well. It's a very Goku Vegeta thing. Saishalon. It's going to come down to Saishalon and Tigu because they're the other people choose not to fight. Saishalon's the hot girl. Tigu's the cat.
Well, yeah.
Nobody else from the farm really decides to fight. Like Badi would easily win. Jin wouldn't even be a contest. And
Yeah, this seems a whole lot like the chicken isn't as involved as
the chicken
title is implying.
He gets a lot of page time, but not a ton of plot. And that's
so he's Krillin.
Yeah. he has an interesting character arc in that he very quickly develops a lot of power and not a lot of wisdom, and then he needs to develop the wisdom. And his role in the story is really to provide a perspective for the world building exposition chapters. Though he does have a big hero moment at the end of volume 3. And it is actually fucking incredible. The end of volume 3 is the end of the Namek arc. Getting to that is the rest of the Namek arc.
Oh.
So like there is
That's
a moment. Yeah, there is a moment at the end where like
you
that
remember
evil...
how fucking long Namek was then?
I do. Like a whole volume 2 and most of volume 3 of this. And it was especially long because they kept playing repeats while we were waiting for like the final 10 episodes.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, but so this...
And then they kept showing fucking Garlic Jr. Yes.
Oh my god, dude, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure for a while there they used the ocean dub for the Saiyan arc, so the
did.
Quality was noticeably worse.
No, Funimation didn't go back and redub that for a long time.
Yeah, it was like if we just got worse cameras and worse actors, and the animation also seemed janky. It's very strange.
Well, that was when they were changing from that old Toriyama style to the new like sharp edges. Like he used to have...
The coloration was weird. Vegeta started out with red hair.
Well, that's because they didn't know what color his hair was going to be. I believe the anime got ahead of the manga there for a minute.
Well, yeah, because they had so much filler.
Yeah.
You go to a bug planet, Gohan runs away with some other kids.
There's a little bit of that in this.
Oh.
There's a whole...
the fake planet Namek.
I remember the fake planet. That was pretty bad. Oh god. Yeah, but so there is a moment where this evil dude, he figures out that Zhou Tigu is the basically daughter of Zhou Jin, the guy who kicked his ass. And he's like, well, I might not be able to take Zhou Jin, but I can take his daughter. And he tries to kidnap her. And all the martial artists from the tournament have to team up and try to rescue her. And they do. And it's going well for a minute until he's about to just freaking murder Sai Shalon. And
who? Is that the
The
cat
hot
or
girl.
the hot girl?
The cat is
Okay.
Tigu. This is on you. I've made that clear.
Nah.
This is on you. So he's about to murder her, and then the chicken shows up. There's the Goku arrives moment. So right as she's about to die, the chicken names one of his signature moves. The chicken has signature moves. I haven't really emphasized that up to this point, but he has them, and it pays off big time here because he says something. I think he says Aegis of the full moon, and I was just like full body chills. I'm there. I'm in it. Travis Baldry does that. He has this like really deep voice for the chicken. It's a very deep, very serious voice. And like you hear the chicken's voice come on, and you're like, oh shit. That is Goku showing up. And then eventually Jin shows up. Because this guy's even too powerful for the chicken. The chicken's doing really good. But then, it's old school shonen anime, like he's got like another level to his power. He invokes like his demon blood arts, and the chicken can't handle them. And then Jin shows up and punches him apart.
And now he's gonna get fused with a person from our world.
Oh, that's an interesting. I think he's just dead, but that would be an interesting twist. I think he's just dead, but that would be an interesting twist. And then Jin, unfortunately, has revealed his power now. He sort of has to like deal with
But
this
why didn't
whole.
the rooster do it?
Wasn't strong enough.
What? But you said that was the Goku moment.
It was a Goku moment, but he was not the Goku we needed. Now, I'm going to take you a little. It was a Goku moment, but like then Whis showed up.
Oh.
I'm going to tap into Dragon Ball Super to continue this analogy.
Oh.
Which, by the way, a new chapter of Dragon Ball Super finally came out. Still says written by Akira Toriyama. Don't know if he wrote that before he died or if they just forgot to change it.
Why not both?
But yeah, so that happens. Jin's power is revealed. He kind of needs to like take charge of all these martial artists' sects and tell them like, look, we're gonna fix the town, which is a big deal because these guys never fix anything they break. They just go around ruining peasants' lives, and then like,
They're
what are you gonna do about it?
peasants, Ben. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, exactly. But Jin's like, no, actually, I like peasants. Pick up a hammer, fix that guy's house. And he makes everybody do that because if they don't, he'll kill them. And he extracts like a bunch of stuff from the sect of that demon guy. Yada 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 yada. Jin realizes he's in deeply over his head. He has no idea how to lead a country. He begs the magistrate for lessons. It's hilarious. I actually really like that. The bulk of volume 4, I'm going to be real with you, kind of fillery. The only cool thing that happens in volume 4 is you finally get spelled out what is going on in this farm. You finally figure out who the earth spirit was. You finally figure out that no, she's an earth spirit. She developed a new form of cultivation where she can combine her chi with a mortal's chi basically, and they won't like ascend through the heavens. He won't become immortal, but he can draw on the power of the earth, and they can sort of use that power to work in the world. And there's this evil emperor who's been killing peasants, and her in the past, like
Just
1,000
sounds like
years.
a normal emperor. I don't
Yeah,
know.
pretty much. But like 1,000 years in the past or whatever, she was bonded to this dude, and they went on this like noble quest where they gathered all these allies, and all the allies look suspiciously like all the people currently hanging out with Jin, and they all went to fight this evil emperor. They beat him, and her bonded became the new emperor. And
Uh-huh.
it was going really well
Uh-huh.
until the demons started whispering to him. So the old emperor, the only good thing he ever did, the reason he was emperor, the reason people tolerated him, he kept the demons out. He constructed barriers and stuff that kept demons from invading the land. And this dude who replaces him has to do that. He has to keep these barriers going. And it's hard. It's more difficult with passing time. They have to deal with more demonic invasions. And unlike most cultivators, he's getting old. His wife dies of old age. He's aging slower, but he's still aging. Most cultivators don't age.
Okay. Because of capitalism.
So most cultivators don't age, but he is aging. And the demons sort of whisper to him about that. They're like, this earth spirit, she's going to live forever. She's going to forget all about you. You're going to die, and she's just going to bond to somebody else. It's no big deal for her. You're kind of
Yeah.
getting the raw end of the deal here.
Yeah, we'll watch. In a few thousand years, I'll have some factories up and I'll be fucking wrecking her.
So what he does, basically, if he were to start cultivating now, he'd have to destroy this cultivation he's already built up and try to construct something new. So he arranges for these rituals to happen all around the province, where all the people of all the villages are going to do this ritual on the solstice. And they're going to feed their energy into one point, and he's going to sit at the center of that point. And when he does it,
Yeah, I also watched Full Metal Alchemist,
yeah,
and Father's gonna open up the gate and become God.
yeah. So he's trying to do that. And at the last minute, he realizes what this would do to the Earth Spirit. He remembers, like, she's his only friend. Like, I've let this stuff get to me, and there's no way I can go through with this. I'm not going to do this. I have to at least talk to her. So he tries to turn away, but oh, look, the demons tricked him into making this, and they're here now because it's not for him, it's for them. And
What?
they boot him.
When would a demon ever lie?
They step into the circle. They try to take the power with his last bit of effort. He manages to throw a metaphorical but somehow literal also wrench into the formation, and it blows up, and the formation totally destabilizes. It shifts the elements out of whack, which is why the fire people are doing the water dance and the water people are doing the wood dance, and so on and so on. Everything gets screwed
Oh,
up. It
that was a thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it blows up all the chi. It uh, nukes the Earth Spirit. She gets absolutely wrecked. She breaks apart. The society collapses. There's war. There's famine. There's all this stuff. The chi is basically gone from the landscape. People are just taking power from wherever they can get it. As she describes, the Earth Spirit describes this as people like drinking her blood as she's dying. They can't hear her voice anymore. And that's why she's so bitter. And now it's been a huge amount of time, and there is a new guy. It's Jin. And it's all kind of like happening again.
Oh my god. And
It's an
now that's
isekai
the end
within an
of that
isekai.
volume?
You would think that would be the end of the volume. It does continue on. It limps along through. I would say this volume 4 is the one where it's like I could take my words about books scissors and find a
Yeah,
way
that's kind
to
of
improve this.
most of this episode, the way you're telling it to me. It feels like there's a story here, but there's a.
There's a
You also had to write 3 a week, so
yeah,
like.
exactly. I think I've done a good job of conveying the experience. Um, So there's like a whole thing where they go through winter and blah blah blah, and his wife is pregnant. She has the kid. That's the having the kid is kind of the end of the volume, and it ends with a little bit of a cliffhanger where it's like the original body's grandfather is about to come back to see why he abandoned being a cultivator. Um, so that's like a weird sitcom premise that's going to come back in volume 5, I guess. Um, I noticed in reviews, basically everybody gets off the train at volume 4. And I could not help but compare it to another volume 4. And that is God Emperor of Dune. Where God Emperor of Dune is literally just, okay, look, we got to get some things straight before we go into the next part. A giant worm man is going to voice most of my political opinions for about 400 pages.
Oh God.
Yeah, this isn't quite that beat you over the head with it, but I think a good point to end would have been when we finished the Earth Spirit story, but then it just keeps going. And it just keeps going for like 200 pages. And I think I really liked it. Like, I enjoy putting these books on my audiobook and going for really long walks. It's perfect for that. However, 700 pages is just a lot to ask of a reader. And
It's a lot to ask of me, having to hear you recount it again.
yeah,
Was
there's
the final volume 700 pages, or was that all
no,
these?
that was just volume 4, was 700
Oh my
pages.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, all told, the entire Beware of Chicken saga thus far is, I would say, around 1,200 pages.
No fucking way.
Actually, maybe
Wait,
more. More, I
1,200
think.
pages
Yeah.
and the final one is 700 of those?
No, you know what? I might be off base. I think I might be closer to 1,700 pages. Um, they're about 300, 400, 400.
I will wait until Beware of Chicken Kai. They go back in, they remove a lot of the filler, and they streamline the story for the younger generation.
Here's the challenge he has given himself. In an attempt to not make it obviously filler, he loops many of these side characters back around into the main plot in somewhat important ways. So you can't just cut them. It becomes a really complicated chore of you would have to, in order to be able to cut them, which you would need to cut them. I mean, that's the right call, but you'd have to rewrite significant chunks, and he doesn't have time because in addition to
That's what
compiling,
happens when he's done with the whole thing. He can Kai.
yeah, because in addition to compiling the volumes, he still has to put out new material.
Are we done, Ben?
Are we done?
Are we done?
We could be done.
I'm so tired now.
Why are you tired?
I've been listening to you talk for an hour and a half, and I think my simulant is crashing now. So I'm done, Ben. Sounds like that's the end anyway.
It is the end. My wrap up, my Beware of Chicken update to sum up. I really enjoy it, but yeah, it does. It's almost inevitable that this is going to collapse under its own weight.
Oh,
His only option would be to start bringing it back in at this point.
no, you're going to fuse the Zodiac into one person.
Well, unfortunately, I say like the only option would be to bring it back in, but Volume 4 introduces like 12 new provinces.
Okay, first of all, fuck no. Second of all, you need to have someone be Nappa then and start culling the minor
Uh,
characters.
Also,
They run the gauntlet, and they just lay waste to like the ox, one of the pigs.
I didn't
Just
even mention
just
the
a
12 chapters that are dedicated to a guy who doesn't matter forming a post office.
oh my god. Well, that was 4 weeks of content. While he worked on the other more important chapters, he managed to get another 4 weeks, solid month.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. There's something here, but I think he's got to start reining it in. And if I were to recommend it to other people, I think I would say like first 3 volumes, probably pretty good. Got to be a diehard to keep going. I'm going to keep going though. I like what he's doing, but I also, you know me, I love Dune. I love a literary mess. Yeah, it's Beware of Chicken. Should we thank our patrons?
Yes. Please do that.
Nate is out. He does not care about this. Okay. Well, let us thank Jamie, the gravy man of the If You Want the Gravy movie blogs. Shy with a Y, Spooky Shy. She's on TikTok. John Bierce, author of The Mage Errant, The Rack, and the City That Would Eat the World. Out now. And Isekai Sensei Sama of the That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster podcast. You should cover Beware of Chicken. It's right up there with many of these isekai where they just get bigger and bigger and bigger until they one day just stop because they're canceled. And then that's how every isekai I've ever even kind of gotten into, that's how that works. There was one I liked called fuck. I must have liked it a lot. Faraway Paladin. I liked an isekai called Faraway Paladin, and you know what? It went for 5 light novels, and then it's just guy fell off the face of the earth. I think I saw him on Twitter once, though. Anyway, and of course, Keegan. Keegan did not give me a project, so I will simply say hello, Keegan.
All right. Goodbye.